years, the use of technology in the classroom has received a lot of attention, such as a study that stated that 78% of kindergarten through middle school teachers agree that technology has had a positive impact on their classroom. My speech today is on the use of technology in the classroom, and I am very supportive of this. A study done by the IT Association and an article written by the Huffington Post agree that technology is very beneficial to students. I will be telling you about the wonderful things you can do with technology and their benefits. The first thing is what you can do with technology. The first is online textbooks and online research. Schools have started to adopt online textbooks in lieu of physical heavy ones. Having online textbooks allows the school to save money and keep their books more up to date by being able to replace textbooks every 1 to 2 years as opposed to every 3 to 4 years. With many schools having computer labs and other basic technology, research for a project is much easier. When students need to research a topic for a project, the internet is a great resource with an abundance of knowledge. Before computers were so common, students were limited to what they could find in their school's libraries, which could be very dated information. Students can also now create multiple media projects. With computers, students can now make presentations that go so much further than a poster board. They can create presentations such as Prezis and PowerPoints that hold much more information than you could ever fit on a poster board. In these presentations, students can insert interesting pictures and informative videos that help further explain their topics. This helps students to learn more about being creative and how to work with many online programs. This also helps students to communicate. Thanks to email, students can now confer with teachers and other schools in need of assistance and ideas. And now I have a video showing technology being used very well in a classroom.
Technology has changed how we communicate, particularly with mobile devices and social media. It is important students know how to utilize these tools in school and as citizens of the digital world. The growing popularity of social media sites like Twitter adds a new way to engage students in the classroom. In today's lesson, students in Mr. Cassidy's class are using Twitter in a number of different capacities. Students use different forms of social media for discussion questions. The teacher will post a question with a unique hashtag, and students can respond directly to him and to each other. This has greatly increased class participation and helps students who might hesitate in class find their voice. For example, during an in-class debate, all students were able to participate by tweeting questions and comments. This simulated a real live debate and gave students a unique experience. Twitter is also used to enhance assignments. Students post responses to in-class readings and discuss aspects of the novel without disrupting other students' reading time. Outside of class, Twitter is used to keep students updated on tests and due dates, and it allows students to continue discussing topics from class. As you can see, the use of social media and technology in the classroom has increased student participation and enhanced learning. Teaching students how to properly use social media will help prepare them for college, career, and citizenship.
Next are the arguments against technology. Many argue that technology does all of the work for the students and they're unable to digest their learning, when in reality, students are fully immersed in the lesson and are taking an active role as opposed to a passive one. And something that technology will take the heart out of learning. And a great thing about the traditional education system is that teachers can provide human contact and emotional support that children need while they're developing. However, in a technologically advanced classroom does not mean a cold and heartless one. When used correctly, technology will help the teacher. Computers will help students to understand basics like math and reading, while the teacher can still provide emotional support. And another is major changes like technology can really affect people. And a great example of this is the Wisconsin Virtual Academy, or WVA. This was a major pioneer in the world of distance learning. Students could attend from all over the state of Wisconsin and receive rigorous and customized education that they were lacking in their home districts. However, this ability to attend from all over the state really affected the students' home districts, as they were just losing many students. This major drop in enrollment threatened State Teachers Union, and the union went to court to have WVA and possibly all online schools like it put out of business because they did not comply with the pre-existing state education laws. And this truly shows how technology may have met its match: the resistance of people who don't want things to change. One thing that technology always promises is change. This could be a positive or negative change for some people. In this case, it caused a change that affected a shift in the jobs and lives of those who depended on the traditional education system for their livelihood. The Wisconsin State Teachers Union tried to use its political power to prevent technology from transforming the American education system. For many years, America has been wanting to transform its education system to raise a brighter generation. And if we don't utilize this technology, we don't know what could happen. Other people argue that technology is very expensive. And although things like MacBooks and iPads seem very expensive at several $100s a piece, physical textbooks are not inexpensive either. And recently, technology has become much more affordable, and many charities have been giving away grants to schools so they can improve their modern technology. Next is the benefits of technology. There are many benefits to technology used in schools. The first is enhanced overall student performance. Students who use technology in their classes have been shown to perform better. AP Calculus teacher Stacy Roshan can attest to this, as after integrating technology into her lesson, such as emailing students presentations of lectures to watch for homework, her students performed significantly better on the AP Calculus test. The average score in years before was a 3.59, but that rose to a 4.11. Another great story that shows the power of technology is that of Anna Ben Thomas, who, despite having gone through the New York City school system, left school unable to read. After leaving school illiterate, she enrolled in library literacy programs and went to tutors trying to overcome the handicap, but was still unable to read. After trying just about everything, she enrolled in an online course which taught her to read and write. This technology also seems to make students more productive. A survey showed that 65% of educators believe students are more productive than they were 3 years ago. Technology is more customizable than traditional learning. With normal classroom learning, every student was taught the same thing, but students absorb material differently. Some students may grasp things while others may not. And if a student is struggling in a certain concept, they couldn't really get the help they needed. But with online learning tools, a student can review the same material as many times as they need in order to master the said material. Technology makes things more shareable. With the use of email, teachers can help students very easily. This is great for when a student is struggling but is too embarrassed to ask questions in front of their friends. Also, parents can now view their child's grades online. With things such as grade speed and Net Classroom, parents don't have to wait until progress reports or report cards to see how their child is doing in school, which allows them to step in if they need to. Technology helps to raise students' self-esteem. With technology, students can not only master concepts like math and reading, but they can learn how to use technology, which is very prevalent in our world. Many people in the business world can't function without their laptop or smartphone, making knowledge of technology very useful. When students finally figure out how to insert pictures into presentations or develop quick and accurate typing, they feel a boost in their confidence. There are more access to resources online. Before the internet was so widespread, classroom resources were very limited to pictures and text and on the very rarest of occasions, a film. Now teachers are able to show students great sources to further understanding of the material. Technology lowers school costs. With the price of common technology falling, it's even more appealing than it ever was. And when technology is used, information can be updated much more frequently. And a random and odd finding from a Chicago public school was that whenever they made iPads available in some of its classes, the school said that they found higher enthusiasm in students and higher attendance rates. I would like to conclude with a personal testimony. I feel that here at Incarnate Word Academy, we have a perfect balance between old, new technologies and tried and true classroom activities. A great example is our speech class. We are allowed to use our personal devices frequently and school-provided technologies such as the iPad cart and library. Here we're taught to use many valuable online programs such as Prezi, Google Docs, and Microsoft Word. We all have student email accounts and Edmodo accounts that help us to consult teachers and our peers. I'd like to finish with a quote that is, Students inhabit a 21st century world for 18 hours a day, and all too often, educators put them in a 19th century classroom for 6 hours of that day, and the students feel a tremendous disconnect. We have a responsibility to teach them the skills to optimize these tools. This is basically saying that we as young people love technology. We all have our smartphones, laptops, and tablets that we use all the time. But if we're put into a classroom where we can't utilize those and have to sit down with a textbook and a pencil, we feel very disconnected and like we're forced, and it's more of a chore to learn. And here are some of my sources that I used for my presentation. So thank you, and because we don't have an audience, here are a few questions that I was prepared to address. The first is, what if students use tech for inappropriate activities such as social media like Facebook and Twitter? My response to that would be, it is a very, very relevant concern to have because it takes a lot of maturity to know that you should not access inappropriate sites such as social media when you should be focusing on schoolwork. However, most schools do ban social media sites on their internet and are trying very hard to observe students while they're working with the internet to make sure things like this don't happen. But it does take a lot of maturity to truly do. Another would be, if certain students cannot afford a personal computer and therefore can't keep up with their peer lessons, what could they do? And nowadays, many charities are providing personal computers to students who are unfortunate enough to not be able to afford these things. So it's helpful to them. And last is, what if while researching on the internet, students come across faulty information and take it as fact? And this is always something we need to be looking out for, even in periodicals and books. But things that are very obviously tend to have faulty information, like Wikipedia, you should try and stay away from. And on the Current Word website, it has search engines that are very, very trustworthy, like ant.com, that aren't as broadly searched as Google. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.